Hey, what's up, my friend? Thank you so much for being a part of my channel. My name is Vincent William, and in this video I'm going to talk about something that was requested on my Instagram account. A few days ago I asked some of you what your biggest problem, what your biggest obstacle is when it comes to your personal fitness and your health. And especially when it comes to going to the gym. One answer that I received was a lack of motivation. I don't feel motivated enough to go to the gym. I don't feel motivated enough to, be on a diet or, follow through with a diet perhaps. And I want to touch this subject today in this video. I don't think it's going to take a very long time. Anyway, so, motivation. There's a lot that we can talk about. I personally have a lot to say about the subject. Motivation is something that I think is very much overrated, and I want to explain to you why I think so. All right. So imagine me only studying when I feel motivated, only when I feel like studying. Imagine me going to the gym only when I feel like being motivated, feeling like going to the gym. Imagine me only walking my dog when I feel like walking my dog. You know, we can take this example and basically translate it to every area of our lives. Um, Imagine you only do something that is important when you feel like doing it. There are some things in our lives that are not, mandatory, and then there are some things that are mandatory, and then we just do them. I'm talking about, for example, the gym. At the moment, it does not seem like it's mandatory. It does not seem like we have to go to the gym. We can just stay at home and, binge watch YouTube videos or, do whatever we want to do. And it is true. We always have the choice. We always have to decide whether we are doing thing A, B, C, or D. We always have to choose between A and D, We always have to choose between a variety of options. Are we staying at home? Are we going to the gym? Are we eating this plate or this dish? We always have the power of choice, which is awesome. It's kind of cool because it's a God-given thing. We are the only ones who have the power to really choose what we want to do in our lives and what we want to accomplish and what we do on a daily basis. And I think that it's important that we see things from different perspectives. Um, I personally, am a high school student, and I'm probably going to graduate in 2 years from today, depending on how fast I am, depending on how much workload I can get done. Yeah, I do online school, so I don't visit a regular high school campus, but I'm working from home, working at home, and yeah, it's kind of up to me. So there's always this invitation to just hang out with friends or be here at home and do nothing, because I can decide whether I'm staying at home and I'm studying and learning, or I'm just watching YouTube, for example, because I love watching YouTube videos, trust me. And so it's in the power of my choice. I can always choose between a variety of things. And what I like to do when I feel unmotivated, because in the vast majority of the times I feel unmotivated to do something. There are days where I wake up and I feel energized. There are days where I feel ready and where I feel like taking up on the day and I really go after it. And then there are days where I do not want to, go hard, where I don't want to go to the gym, where I don't want to eat that certain vegetable or certain dish, that certain plate. And there are days where I don't want to study or further my research and the subjects of nutrition, exercise, and sleep. There are days where I don't feel like really praying and reading my Bible. But where does that path lead me down? It leads me to an unhealthy, unfulfilled life. And that's not what I'm called to live. I'm called to live an overcoming life in Jesus Christ. I'm called to live a life full of abundance, full of love, and in order to do that, there are some things that I have to keep in check. Going to the gym, sticking to some sort of diet, getting some protein and getting some micronutrients in. Yeah, I don't want to go into detail right now, but there are some things that are just mandatory for me to go where I want to go. So it's important to know where you want to go. That's step number one. You have to know where you want to go. The Bible says that without a vision, people perish. So it's good to have a vision. It's good to know where you are headed, where you want to go. For me personally, I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly trying to understand where I am right now and where I want to go, because I'm constantly on the move. I'm always going somewhere, and sometimes I take a step back and I have to, take a look and kind of realize where I'm at and then move forward. And sometimes I'm just moving super fast and I block out all the noise and I don't know where I am. I'm just moving very fast. And, I just said something. Start now. And, no, I didn't say it, but I listened to the Graham Cochran show. I love Graham Cochran. He's such an amazing person. He's a great mentor. He's someone who's really doing good stuff. You can check out his YouTube channel on this platform and check out some of his videos because they're really, really great. And he talks about this one thing. I mean, procrastination is something that hits us, and it hits us on the daily. We don't want to do the dishes right now. We don't want to study right now. We don't want to, create this YouTube video. I mean, even now, I don't feel like creating this YouTube video. I feel, to be honest, oftentimes I feel insecure. There are days where I feel like, hey, I'm such an expert. I can tell you this, and that. And there's a series of accomplishments that I can kind of attain. And then there are days where I feel super down. I feel like, hey, I'm basically just questioning myself. I'm questioning the things that I'm doing. And, it all comes down to my standard. I, for myself, have a high standard. Oftentimes, it's a standard that I cannot reach. And if I would just kind of lower my standard a little bit, and the entry barrier basically would, it would just kind of become more transparent. Because I imagine it like, paying an entry fee for everything that we do. Going to the gym, going to the gym and just showing up at the gym, that's not a high entry fee. You just go to the gym and you show up. But going to the gym and hitting all your goals and achieving the progressive overload that you want to achieve, that's a bigger entry fee, because you already have in your mind, hey, I need to go to the gym and do this, and that. If I'm going to study, I'm about to study and do the best work that I can do. That's a high entry fee. That's a high entry level. So it's not easy to quit procrastinating if you have high standards. What I tried out was, I just said to myself, Vincent, you're not going to study for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day, but you're just going to study for 1 minute. And what happened was very interesting. I just studied, and I studied every single day for 1 minute. No, that's not true. I studied at least for 1 minute. And that's the point. I started to study, because oftentimes the beginning is the very, very hard thing. I mean, going to the gym sometimes is the hardest thing that we face, or beginning to further our research in a certain area of our lives. That's something, that's not really. It's hard to go after something that is very, very broad and not narrow, and it's not something that we can grasp. So some actionable steps right here are: figure out where you want to go in life. Have a vision, have something to look forward to. Then figure out what you can do to, come closer to your goals, to get closer to your goals. If your goal is to, for example, lose 10 pounds of weight, then figure out the small, simple steps that you need to do to walk closer to your goal. And after all, that could be, eating more vegetables, eating less easy sugars, and getting on a caloric deficit. But these are just some of the random steps that fell in my mind. But the most important thing, the most important thing that I can think of is consistency. You can, even if you just walk so much closer to your goal every single day, and you can do it consistently, that thing is going to grow and you're going to move towards your goals. Like, over the long term, you're going to reach your goals if they're not high enough. When they're not high enough. So yeah, I mean, even now, the perfectionist is knocking on the door and he's telling me, Vincent, just quit this video and repeat it again. But that's not what it's about. I want to be real on this YouTube channel. I'm just starting out. I'm trying to figure out how I'm doing these videos and constantly learning, and that's really what it's about. It's about starting now and evolving later. Don't tell yourself you have to do this, and that. You have to do this large to-do list, and focus on the few things that are important and be consistent with them. Be consistent with them. For me, it's, for example, uploading one YouTube video a week. That's something that I can do. It's something that I can do. It's something that I want to do. It's something that I actually look forward to. Going to the gym. I'm not able to work out 6 times a week, and I don't want to. Therefore, I work out 3 times a week, and I do so with a lot of enthusiasm, because I know that my plans work. I know that they are getting me results. They're keeping me healthy. They're actually increasing my health, my muscle growth, my muscle mass. So it's awesome. And I don't have to do too many things. I just have to be consistent with what I do. And for me, it's going to the gym every other day, 3 times a week, twice a week, if I'm very busy, if I'm trying to be very productive. So we have to kind of figure out the things that we want to be consistent with. Maybe for you, it's drinking a smoothie every day. Maybe it is, chugging down 2 egg whites or just 2 whole eggs, what I would recommend. If you want to, just get used to drinking eggs. I know it's kind of weird, but it's interesting, and they actually have awesome nutrients, and they get more preserved when you don't cook eggs, obviously. So that's cool, and you can try things, and you can start now. Drink 1 egg today and evolve later. Maybe you will be able to drink 6 eggs in a row at one point, maybe 10 eggs. That's just an example to just get you paint a picture in your mind. If you need to, study for an hour a day instead of your ambitious goal of 6 hours a day, try it and see where you're going. If you see, hey, no, this is not working for me, I definitely need to change something, then change something. But do whatever you can and evolve later. Start with 1 YouTube video per week and work your way up. Maybe you can do two YouTube videos a week at some point. Maybe in a year, maybe in 2. Maybe you'll be able to do this full time, and you can upload 3 videos per week, 4 videos, depending on where you are and what your goal is. But it's all about habits. Build habits that are strong and that are serving you and that are basically automatically driving you closer towards your goals. Maybe it's praying for 30 minutes an hour to an hour a day. Maybe it's reading 3 chapters a day. Maybe it's going to the gym twice a week. Maybe it is to... there are so many things. Maybe it's like getting a sleep tracker and a gut health test, and then, sleeping for 7 to 9 hours a night. Just try and figure things out, and start now and evolve later. Keep the entry level barrier fee low, and you can increase it gradually. That's something that I have learned. It's not about changing our life from today to tomorrow. It's about taking small steps towards your goal. And don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid of failing on your way to 3 workouts a week. Don't be afraid of failing on your way to staying to your day, like following your diet 5 days a week. Don't be afraid to fail, because we are human beings. We're imperfect. Only God is perfect, and be human. And that's really it. Be human and um, move closer to your goals. It's really not that hard. It's really a thing of perspective when we look at things differently. Also, last thing here is think about where you would go if you are not doing the things that you want to do or that you should do. Now let me explain that. If I'm not studying right now, if I'm not furthering my research in sleep, exercise, and nutrition, if I'm not working on my skills as a musician, if I'm not working on my spiritual life and how I grow closer to God, um, if I'm not doing my schoolwork, it's going to have consequences. And I'm going to have results because of that. And those results are probably not what I want or what I wish or aim for. So I can study now, and I can go to the gym now. I can release one YouTube video per week now. I can, you know, stick to a certain diet now, and I can pray and read now, and later on in life, I'm going to have a return on investment. I'm going to have a business built. I'm going to be very close to God. I'm going to be able to serve other people and have a big impact. I'm going to be able to live of what I love to do. I'm going to be able to, I'm just going to be an educated man. And why? Because I made the decision 5 years earlier, 10 years earlier, every single day to study, to grow, to take care of my health. And that's really so important. The health part is so important because it sets a standard for the rest of your life. If you can go to the gym 3 times a week, and if you can make sure that you get enough sleep and you follow a healthy diet, then you're going to profit a long term because you're not going to have to go to all those doctors, take all these pills and you know, go through diverse types of programs and rehabs and stuff like that. If you just focus on 3 simple things right now: getting enough sleep, following a healthy, simple diet, and getting enough exercise in. And that's it. I mean, you can invest now and reap later. The Bible says you reap what you sow. So let's sow the good things right now so we can get the best results later, so we can get really awesome results later. If you're in business, this could mean, you know, you just focus on making 1 YouTube video a week, or publish 1 piece of content on your blog or YouTube channel or podcast or whatever, and let it grow. Just sow those seeds and see where it's going. And in 5 or 10 years from today, you'll be able to live off your business, or you'll have a big impact. You'll be able to serve people on a larger scale. You know, it's very important that we see things from different perspectives and that we kind of think long term. It's important to have short term goals and also long term goals. I think that is probably one of the top 10 things that wealthy people have in common. They all think towards the future. They all have a certain way of thinking when it comes to the future, and that's long-term thinking. So yeah, there's lots and lots and lots that I could talk about right now, but I definitely do enjoy talking to someone who's actually replying and having a conversation with me, rather than just talking and talking and talking, especially as I'm filming on my iPad, on an iPad right now. So it kind of increases the whole process. I mean, it's not fun to create these videos on an iPad. It's really not fun. It's way more fun if you have a good camera and if you have a nice microphone. But that's what I have right now, and I want to work now because I want to start now and evolve later. Alright, so thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment down below, because yeah, this is a certain type of video, and if you enjoyed it, let me know. After all, have a wonderful and a blessed week, and yeah, see you next week.